What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE Monday Night Raw review for last night's show, June 30th, 2014. And what a big show it was. What did John Cena have to say about capturing the WWE Championship for the 15th time? Did Seth Rollins tease a cash-in tonight after Money in the Bank? Chris Jericho returning, AJ Lee returning, The Miz returning, and much, much more on this review of Monday Night Raw, your number one source for everything you need regarding the WWE right here on YouTube.com. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Something a little bit different for you guys tonight. Usually, I tend to do my Monday Night Raw review in the morning on Tuesday. I get some sleep, I go over what I want to talk about, kind of make a little note for myself about bullet points and where I want to go and all this other bullshit. But, you know, I'm home for the first time in a while by myself. My girlfriend is still out in LA. She's doing business for her job, and she's not coming back till Tuesday. So I get to watch Monday Night Raw in the comfort of my own apartment. Usually I watch it with her at her place. So I figured, why not? Instead of playing Call of Duty or Battlefield or streaming on Twitch, I figured I'd come on here, bullshit with you guys, talk Monday Night Raw, and what an explosive Monday Night Raw it was. A few things I want to talk about, a few things I want to pull away from the actual show tonight. One being AJ and Paige, which I was very vocal about on Twitter. Then you had Chris Jericho returning, and you had the surprising segment with Jack Swagger and Rusev, which did Swagger very well. Swagger I've never seen get so much babyface reaction in my entire life. We'll talk about it. Obviously, the happenings from Money in the Bank. John Cena is the new WWE Champion. New main event booked for Battleground. You got John Cena, Kane, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns in a fatal four-way for the WWE Championship. So you guys questioning me, JD, John Cena is the new WWE Champion. I fucking hate it. What is he going to do now? Who is he going to defend the title against? Well, Triple H just told you he booked a fatal four-way. John Cena doesn't necessarily have to be pinned to lose the title, which we know he's not. We know he's not. It's just yet another predictable John Cena main event. But it's all leading to that one picture-perfect moment when John Cena is counted down for 1, 2, 3, and Brock Lesnar is your new WWE Champion. It's going to happen, and I'm watching Bruce Blitz last night after Money in the Bank, and this guy is going off on John Cena. It's always about hatred towards John Cena. And listen, I would love to be a guest on Bruce Blitz. You know, I would love to talk wrestling with him and give you my opinion. I'll give him my opinion, but, you know, all the hatred towards John Cena, we understand it. You're not a John Cena fan. But this was the most logical choice. And I think I did a pretty damn good job of laying it out for you guys, you know, with the Money in the Bank predictions that I made. So you're not going to give it to Cesaro, you're not going to give it to Wyatt, you're not going to give it to Orton. They didn't make any sense. You're not going to give it to Reigns. You don't want to see those three guys wasted after one title reign eventually to only lose it to Brock Lesnar. It's not going to happen. Cena was the only choice. You know, you deal with Cena for a month and a half, and then you get what you want. You get to see John Cena destroyed by Brock Lesnar. Deal with it. It's going to happen. It's money. But Cena don't necessarily have to be pinned to lose. Triple H books the fatal four-way. We know Cena's going to overcome that. Obviously, Triple H mentioned if John Cena gets past that fatal four-way, that there is always a plan B, which Seth Rollins comes out right before his match with RVD with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We know Seth Rollins is not going to be involved in any WWE Championship matches this year. He may tease it. You know, WWE may tease it to the audience, but it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Plan B, realistically, is Brock Lesnar. Cena's going to go over Fatal 4-Way, and then he's going to have the Beast come out of nowhere and take what's rightfully his and ask for what, you know, for what is rightfully his. He beat The Undertaker. There's no other way to deal with it. The WWE Championship is the only thing left to conquer, and Lesnar will conquer it. But Fatal 4-Way's booked. I don't like it. I don't care. It's just another lame, boring, dull John Cena main event. And it is what it is. We got to get through it. SummerSlam, it'll be worth it. Trust me. We get through Battleground. We get to see all this bullshit happen at Battleground. But SummerSlam, I'm telling you right now, WWE has the opportunity to make SummerSlam one of the biggest pay-per-views ever. Never mind being one of the best SummerSlams in history. This could go down as one of the greatest ever if WWE plays their cards correctly. They want to be sitting at that World Series of Poker table with that jackpot in the center of the fucking table. WWE really needs to play their cards right because it can happen. It can happen. And I've been booking SummerSlam for the last 3 weeks. I've been booking SummerSlam for you guys for the last 3 weeks. It's not that difficult. You got the pieces right in front of you. You got the storylines developing on TV. You guys can book SummerSlam if you're paying attention and watching the product like I am. You see it unfolding. It's going to happen. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but let's get on with the rest of the review. Cena, Fatal 4-Way. He's the WWE Champion. That's booked. Paige was another thing that I took away from Monday Night Raw last night. I don't like her losing the Divas Championship, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, with AJ Lee coming back, you know, and you got the fucking smarks on Twitter and all over the internet. Oh, maybe this is a reason for CM Punk to come back. Maybe WWE is trying to make CM Punk happy. Oh, look, they're taking care of his girlfriend. They gave his girlfriend or his wife the Divas Championship again. Punk is done. There's nothing to do with Punk. Okay? Obviously, AJ, and people read the fucking dirt sheets. Obviously, AJ's married to Punk. You're going to get the CM Punk reaction, the chants, and all that. But AJ comes back, and you know she's going to be cheered. You know AJ's going to be cheered. Okay? Paige hasn't been given anything to work with since she was brought up from NXT. Vince apparently doesn't like her for whatever reason. I don't know why. She can wrestle. She hasn't been given anything to work with, like I said. Barely any mic time. Tonight was the first time she actually took the microphone on Monday Night Raw to engage and communicate with the fucking viewer. Okay? Finally, we get to hear what Paige has to say and what she's thinking about. She even said it herself, she's quiet and reserved. Okay? She can go in the ring and she likes to let her actions do the talking. That's the way I am. I'm reserved. I like to act and let people determine for themselves. Okay? But Paige gets on the microphone, and all of a sudden AJ Lee comes out. It was rumored. I didn't have any idea. I was surprised. I wasn't paying attention to the dirt sheets like everybody else was tonight. Oh, AJ's coming back. Oh, Chris Jericho's coming back. The Miz is coming back. That's great. You know, Skinner and Bastion Booger and fucking Doink the Clown and the Berserker all could come make their returns. Papa Shango. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who comes back. So let me watch the show. AJ comes out, skips around the ring, and she is pressuring Paige into a Divas Championship. Now, Paige doesn't want it. She sees through AJ. You know, she did the same thing to AJ right after WrestleMania, forced her into a Divas Championship, pulled off the upset, got the win. Now, AJ Lee's coming back as a face. This is certain. This was probably a well-known fact. AJ's coming back. She's probably going to be cheered. So, Paige really isn't getting over with her current inception. So, maybe they should turn her heel. Now, if this was the WWE's idea, if this is where they wanted to go as AJ with the face and eventually turn Paige a heel, if you wanted to build massive heel heat on Paige, you could have had her beat AJ, pull off yet another upset, and leave the crowd pissed. That's number one. You could have had her leave and not even accept the match and just walk away. She would have been booed regardless. Or she could have had the match start and said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to walk out of the ring and get counted out. You ain't getting my belt tonight, bitch. You ain't taking this belt from me. Those were the three ways the WWE could have went about this. But what do? They don't like to give the future a chance. You know, giving Paige the title for a month and a half with absolutely nothing going on, with nothing for her to work with, is not the best way for her to, you know, build a reputation. Obviously, no one in the back is going to like her because they're booking her like shit. How are you going to book her like shit and say, oh, we don't like her? She has no one to work with. Put her in a fucking feud with Natalya. Why are you putting her in a feud with meaningless fucking women that no one care about? Now that you finally have AJ come back, and it's something that we've all been wanting, the one match you can get interest from everyone in the Divas division, you automatically fucking ruined it. AJ wins. Now, it would have been better if AJ was the face chasing the heel going into a pay-per-view, whether it be Battleground, SummerSlam. But no, they want to give AJ Lee the title tonight or last night on Monday Night Raw. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's disappointing. And the WWE fucked up. Now, I'm not going to completely judge this storyline and this angle. I don't know where they're going with it. But if that's what their idea was, maybe they should have built up Paige for a complete fucking heel turn. Have her walk out, have her beat AJ, have her get counted out on purpose. Something. Show some heel fucking activity. Do something a heel would do. No. They let the crowd decide. AJ Lee's the new champion and walks off. And no, this has nothing to do with CM Punk's, but I think the WWE messed up here. They could have went about it a little bit better. Hopefully we still get that feud. Hopefully Paige gets some kind of reaction. Hopefully the WWE knows what they're doing. That's what that's the plan that they wanted to do. I wouldn't mind seeing Paige as a heel. She's tough. She's rough. And she's a lady of few words. She doesn't need to talk. But when she does, it will have more impact. I don't know. I don't like what happened last night. It is what it is. AJ Lee's your new champion. Chris Jericho coming back. Jericho looks fucking phenomenal. He looks great. He's one of my all-time favorites. He's had some of the best matches I think I've ever seen as a WWE fan. Okay? But last night really got me fucking pumped. I had no idea Chris Jericho was coming back. I stayed away from the dirt sheets today. Had a lot going on. I visited my mother. I quit my job, which I'll talk about in a future commentary. I'm still waiting on that phone call. But Jericho's back. Looks great. Miz comes out. He interrupts the Miz. Miz has got this new Hollywood persona. Mr. Pretty Boy. He thinks he's an A-lister. Talking about he wants to fucking main event WrestleMania again. And Jericho comes back. Doesn't say a word. So Miz sarcastically says, is this the Chris Jericho we seen from 2010 that comes back and didn't say a goddamn word for 3 weeks? Next thing you know, he said with a code breaker. Followed by lights going out and the Wyatt family's in the ring. Now, Wyatt family and the Bray Wyatt himself destroy Chris Jericho. Destroy Chris Jericho. Big boot by Luke Harper. Big splash by Rowan. Fucking Sister Abigail by Bray Wyatt himself. Which was looked like Chris Jericho hit the mat pretty hard with that Sister Abigail. But this is going to get everyone excited. And remember when I said in the earlier part of this review, WWE has the cards to make this the biggest SummerSlam ever. Maybe one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time. And the reason why they need to do that is because the network is going global for SummerSlam. And you want all hands on deck. You want a fucking full house. You want to win that fucking pot in the middle of that poker table and be crowned World Series of Poker champion. WWE really needs to stack this card. And if Jericho and Wyatt is going to be happening at SummerSlam, I don't know why they're building it now. I wouldn't waste this for Battleground. I really wouldn't. Maybe they will just to get people to watch the network. But Jericho and Wyatt at SummerSlam is exciting for more than one reason. Number one, the interaction between both of them, vocally, promo-wise, is going to be off the wall. And Wyatt is going to be put over in this feud. Jericho is not afraid to put anyone over. He put Fandango over at fucking WrestleMania. If he put Fandango over, he'll put Wyatt over. This is not going to be another John Cena experiment. Jericho will put over Wyatt. So you guys don't have to worry about that. I'm pretty positive that's what Jericho is going to do. Okay? The promo work is going to be off the wall. Jericho's character and his lifestyle and his persona feeds perfectly into the character of Bray Wyatt. He's got that rock and roll lifestyle. He does what he wants. He's a rebel. He's cool. And Bray Wyatt, the destroyer of worlds, the eater of souls, doesn't want this trendy bullshit going on in the WWE. He thinks what he is right for the WWE. Same thing with John Cena. He wanted to you know, tackle the king of the mountain. You know, you're looked upon as the idol from everybody, or, you know, to everybody. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to show you how human you really are. I'm going to do the same thing with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's that rock star, that lead singer for Fozzy. It's going to do the same thing. His lifestyle fits perfectly into the character of Bray Wyatt. It's going to work magnificently. And the match itself, I'm anticipating a fucking classic. Because you know both men can work. Glad Jericho's back. He looks great. I can't wait to see how this all progresses. And it's a shocker for me because I didn't know anything about it previously. It's going to be great. Wyatt versus Jericho for SummerSlam. You got my fucking attention. No doubt about it. And then finally, guys, obviously the main event. You had, let me get to my notes. You had Kane and Randy Orton versus John Cena and Roman Reigns. I like the way they're building Roman Reigns. I like the way they're making Roman Reigns seem important here. And he looks like a main eventer. He looks like he belongs. You know, obviously he's a little green still in the ring. I'm not going to be drinking that Roman Reigns Kool-Aid just yet because I'm a true fan. I'm not going to jump on the Reigns bandwagon because the WWE's pushing him. He's got to prove himself to me, and right now he has not done that yet. But I will say, I like the way the WWE's booking him. I like the way he looks standing next to Cena and Orton and Kane. He looks great. He looks like he belongs. He's got the right attire. You know, they altered it just ever so slightly, so it kind of differentiates him from his former self in the Shield. The music is there. The entrance is there. He's got the look. He's got the attitude. He just needs to develop a little bit more. But I do like the way WWE's handling Reigns with the slow burn for his push. The crowd is behind him. Everything's working right now. He just can't rush it. That's why I said Roman Reigns was never an opportunity or never a chance to win the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. It just was not the right time. It will be his time, but right now is not the time. But Cena and Reigns win by DQ. Cena gets destroyed by Kane. Steel steps on the outside. Kane hits Cena with steel steps. Leads to a tombstone. Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere. He wasn't going to cash in. But they tease the cash in. And obviously Ambrose comes back. And, you know, Ambrose earlier in the show said, every time you go to cash in that Money in the Bank, I'm going to be there. It's going to be like there's going to be a stack of TNT in that briefcase. And every time you try to cash it in, it's going to explode right in your face and fail. I'll be there watching you from the shadows every time you go to cash that in. So Ambrose stops the cash in. They feud. I'm expecting them to feud, you know, at SummerSlam. Blow off that there. Going to be an epic match. Like I said, WWE has the pieces of the puzzle in the right order to make SummerSlam unbelievable. But Rollins teased the cash in. Ambrose stopped it. That led to a spear by Roman Reigns out of nowhere on Kane. Triple H holding the briefcase for Rollins. There was a kind of mix-up there. Triple H is yelling at the referee, calling him a fucking idiot. And Reigns is staring down Triple H to close the show. Crowd's chanting, "This is awesome." Reigns and Triple H again. SummerSlam. Gonna be money. Gonna be money. Close the show with Reigns staring down Triple H. Hartford, Connecticut was unbelievably on fire. Great fucking show. Show actually started off really slow and really boring. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a long 3 hours. But as soon as Jericho and that Wyatt segment ended, WWE turned it on. Hyper speed. That was fucking unbelievable. The last hour of the show really was great. Another solid edition of Monday Night Raw. Firing Jay Gibson as the head of creative. It seems to be working, man. I don't know what's going on. They seem to be a little bit more rejuvenated. I don't know how much, you know, responsibility this guy had, but it seems to be flowing pretty well. And Jim Ross said on his podcast, he always says it about creative, when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing's ever going to get done right. Food's going to taste awful. If you got too many people dipping into the cookie jar, it's not good. You know, you got Vince and Triple H and Stephanie. They should be the ones collectively booking this shit. Not these guys who have no idea about the product, who are just there just to collect a paycheck. They're not fans of the product. You need people who are knowledgeable and are fans and know what's going on a weekly basis on TV. I like the way Raw's going right now. Another solid edition of Raw. You got some really, really great storylines building. I forgot to talk about it. Rusev and Swagger's another one. Before I end this review. Rusev and Swagger was fucking awesome. And I know Jack Swagger's probably not a favorite of many. He's not of mine. But it reminded me of an old school WWF Superstar feud back in the day. I know I used to watch that shit on Saturday morning. I used to watch it every fucking Saturday when I was a child. But this segment, this feud, reeked of old school. You had Zeb with Swagger. You had Lana with Rusev. You had the two managers, the two, handlers for their men talking and going at it. It reeked of old school. They built the feud for their guys. Rusev with Lana and Zeb with Swagger. Crowd going crazy. I was never a big fan of the anti-American angle because I think it's typical. Rusev seems to be doing an okay job with it, but he really needed that one guy that he can feed off of that's American. You don't get more American than the real American, Jack Swagger, or the All-American, whatever the fuck they're calling him. But he's American, through and through. He's American. And Zeb, with his skill on the microphone and the way he portrays himself on the microphone, talking about America and standing up for America, we the people. Crowd was completely on fire for Jack Swagger. Kind of lost the train of thought. It's fucking, what time is it? 12:30. I'm fucking falling asleep over here. Jack Swagger was hot with the crowd. That's what I'm trying to say. He was hot. And the angle and the storyline and what was portrayed on Monday Night Raw, great. Got my interest for sure. And this is how you have to handle the mid-card. Something so simple makes these two guys important. They make them important to the WWE crowd. They have my interest, and they teased it ever so slightly. 2 arm drags, and Rusev's retreating. Rusev was backing away from Swagger. People were standing up cheering for Swagger. USA, USA. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to build a mid-card feud. They got the pieces there. Obviously, Rusev is going to go over. Because they're slow building, they're slow burning Rusev. I would not mind if Swagger defeated Rusev. That would be huge. I would not be opposed to that whatsoever. But WWE will never do that. They will never go that way. I would not have a problem with Swagger beating Rusev and putting that first blemish on his record. But they won't do that. Rusev has been built very slowly, very carefully. He's been treated very carefully. They will not risk it for Jack Swagger. But I would not be opposed to see that. All in all, it felt old school. It came off old school. It's working. USA versus Russia. Obviously, it's going to happen at Battleground. Great feud. 2 guys in the mid-card gives them something to do, and it seems important. That's the most important thing coming out of this. It seems important. And it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. WWE had a lot of things working tonight. That was one of them. And I said, if you want to build this, anti-American angle, why not have Rusev capture the U.S. Championship? You can't get more anti-American than that. Fucking Mr. Russia holding the United States Championship. I don't know, man. Sheamus apparently is having a 4th of July battle, accepting an open challenge. I think that might be Rusev. We'll see. I don't know. Monday Night Raw, those are the biggest pieces of news from Monday Night Raw. You had Wade Barrett being stripped of the Intercontinental title. It's fucking a damn shame to hear this. And now what they're doing is they stripped him. He's going to be out indefinitely. They don't even know a time frame for when he's coming back. And they're booking a battle royal. How fucking lame can you be? Are you telling me anyone's going to be excited to see a fucking battle royal for the Intercontinental title? We just had a tournament to decide who the Intercontinental Champion is going to be. Now you're putting the title on the line, a vacated title that you're taking off Barrett. You're going to put it on the line in a battle royal. Does that speak creative to you? I'm gonna speak from Jim Ross again, from Jim Ross's podcast. He fantasy booked this, and the WWE has their top 25 power rankings on WWE.com. Why don't the WWE use that on TV? Integrate the rankings on TV. whether it be a mid-card guy. Take the top mid-card guys and put them in matches together. Make win-loss records important on TV. Whoever has the most wins is in the championship match. The top 2 contenders are in the championship match. Use the rankings to determine a 1 versus 1 match for your mid-card title. Instead, no, the WWE wants to say, oh, we're going to put all these guys that we don't have any idea what to do with in a fucking battle royal. Lame. It's so passé. It's so fucking... I don't even know the word. I can't even think of the word. It's just old. It's an old fucking ideology. Oh, let's put them in a battle royal. I hate WWE battle royals. They're always lazy. They're always a big clusterfuck. And it just comes off bad. It just comes off bad. But that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I would rather a 1v1 with the 2 top contenders in the WWE mid-card go at it at Battleground instead of seeing 20 fucking guys scrambling in the match and then ultimately the last guy standing wins the belt. I don't like that. I just don't like that. But more importantly, I'm upset about Wade Barrett. Guy fucking comes back finally with a character that he seems to be enjoying, that's working for him. He's being booked as a solid champion. You know, he's got some wins under his belt. The crowd's behind him. He's funny. He's great in the ring. He's got the look. He misses Money in the Bank, and now he's stripped of the title. Well, because Jack Swagger, and, you know, I'm going to blame Wade Barrett for it as well. They were careless. Now Wade Barrett is out indefinitely. They don't have a time frame. And the WWE right now, they have to be concerned with how do you keep him relevant. They have to be concerned with how do you keep Wade Barrett relevant. You don't want him sitting on the shelf for too long, and then when he comes back, nobody's going to care about him. You got to have him on TV in some kind of fucking capacity where the fans remember Wade Barrett and Bad News Barrett, and they laugh along with him, and they cheer along with him. They get behind him, and when he comes back, he'll be good to go. They got to keep him relevant. You can't keep him on the shelf and just have him wither away and waste away. We have to see him on TV. We have to see him physically on TV, whether it's announcing, whether it's interviewing, whether it's coming out doing the same shit he did before he made his re-debut. He's got to be on TV. Plain and simple. I'm upset that he's injured in the way he is. He could have been Money in the Bank, and now he's not, and now he's not even the champion anymore, which kind of sucks. But I wish him the best. I hope he gets back, you know, fairly soon, and we see Wade Barrett better than ever. That's pretty much it, guys. We've seen Dust to Dust, Stardust and Goldust over Ryback. We had Ziggler versus Fandango. It makes out with Summer Rae. Summer Rae interfered. Ziggler gets the zigzag on Fandango. 1, 2, 3. Khali should never be on my fucking TV, ever. He defeated Damian Sandow. Sandow came out dressed as Vince McMahon this week. He throws his name into the Battle Royal as a contender for the IC title. Kofi defeated Cesaro in a surprise victory roll-up. Cesaro cheap shot at Kofi after the match and left him laying in the middle of the ring. Kind of beat him up a little bit there. Cameron Naomi teasing another breakup again. Whatever, I don't care. I really don't care. Nikki Bella lost to Cameron Naomi in a handicap match. I do think Brie Bella is going to come back and have some kind of match with Stephanie McMahon, but that's just my opinion on that. Rusev and Jack Swagger segment, I talk about that. Rollins defeated RVD in a match that was fairly similar to the one they had previously. Rollins gets the curb stomp on RVD. But that is your Monday Night Raw review, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Great show. The last hour really kicked it into high gear. WWE's got a lot of pieces that they could work with. SummerSlam should be off the fucking wall. Amazing. It doesn't take a rocket scientist like I've been saying. I've been saying that for a while. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to book SummerSlam. I am doing it right now for you guys. I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. All this and what you're seeing is leading to SummerSlam. Triple H versus Reigns. You got Wyatt versus Jericho. Lesnar versus Cena. Rollins versus Ambrose. Stephanie's probably going to be feuding with Brie Bella or the Bella Twins at SummerSlam. Book Sheamus versus Rusev for the United States Championship. You know? They got things going on. Cody versus Goldust if they want to split them up. You got it right in front of you. You guys can do the same thing I'm doing. I'm just here to give you my opinion on it. SummerSlam should be awesome. Monday Night Raw was awesome. That last hour really made the show last night. Kind of boring to begin with, but they closed and fucking lit that show on fire. Great show, solid show. I look forward to next week. Let me know what you guys think down below. Rate, comment, share, favorite, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you for supporting my WWE content on YouTube.com, the #1 source for everything WWE right here on YouTube.com. I'll be back on Friday with Off The Script, guys. If you missed my previous videos, Off The Script this weekend, links are down below. Share a shot with LeBar down below. And I'm out. I'll see you guys for Off The Script on Friday. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.